Brother T.
Let's take a look at Umar Johnson. So, why do people call Umar Johnson a scammer? They call him a scammer because he actually literally collected funds from the people so he can start a school. Now, his reasoning for starting the school is because he was saying that black people, black young men especially, were miseducated in school, and they were put into what he calls, not just him, but what people call the prison, school to prison pipeline, right? So what's the school to prison pipeline? They're just saying that they're conditioning black boys to one day become a prisoner in jail so they can keep that part of the system going, if that makes sense. So they'll miseducate them on purpose, lead them in the wrong directions. So his reasoning for starting his school is to properly educate black men. Okay. I forget if it was supposed to be an all boys school or not, but that was his primary reasoning. And on the outside, that sounds great. It looks great. You're like, I'm with this guy. I did it too, man. I was watching him on those platforms and I was like, yeah, man, I'm with that, bro. I didn't have enough money to be given to him at the time, but I thought about it. I'm not going to lie, because, he can speak. He's a well-spoken brother. And that's one of the things that makes it so difficult, right? He's so well-spoken. He knows what to say, how to say it. He knows how to motivate people. He has one of those personalities where he'll start talking and you'll be like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. You're right. And you'll keep saying that. And before you know it, you get your hand on your wallet like, yeah, let me help this brother because he's doing the right thing. Okay. So purportedly, he collected over $700,000. And this was years ago. So he might have gotten more by now just for the school. He did eventually get some land and started building a school on that land. To that, I would say, my personal opinion, I wouldn't call him a scammer because the money he collected, he actually literally bought land and he started building something that will eventually be a school, I guess. So I wouldn't call him an actual scammer, even though some people think he is. What I would say is he's probably a guy that got in over his head, right? He wants to do everything himself, which is a big problem. Whenever you're going to be a leader and be an effective leader, you have to understand sometimes that you cannot do everything yourself. You have to get the people around you who are good at what they do, and then you have to delegate their responsibilities and tasks for them to carry out or accomplish that goes for the greater good, right? Think of it like a coach, right? The coach is not shooting any baskets. The coach is not going to play any defense. But you cannot win a championship without at least a better than average coach, if that makes sense. So if you're going to be the coach, you have to put the people in place that can put that ball in that hoop, right? I'm just saying, you have Michael Jordan, but you needed a Phil Jackson. Michael Jordan had coaches before Phil Jackson, didn't win no championships, right? He had coaches after Phil Jackson, didn't win no championships. When he was with Phil Jackson, 6 championships. I can rest my case right there. What I think he should have did long ago was surround himself with people that knew how to run a school, knew how to build, right? Instead of trying to do everything himself. He even denied help. He was on Lord Jamar's program, the God Yadamin podcast, right? And Lord Jamar said, hey, I know somebody who's done this and they can help you with the funding and all kinds of stuff. And he denied the help, right? Which I think was a strategic mistake. I'm not saying you just take help from anybody, but you at least look into it. That was a strategic mistake. Another thing he did, which I totally disagreed with, after he collected a bunch of money, there was a person, I believe they were on Boyce Watkins' platform, a young lady. She said she gave a certain amount to the efforts to the school. And at the time, he hadn't had the property or anything. and she said that she wanted to know where the money was.
You have to hold them accountable as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking him, hey, Dr. Johnson, where's the money going? Because we've given you the money, but there's no school.
That made him have a little rift with Boyce Watkins. He had a problem with Boyce Watkins letting the young lady say that on his platform, which is a whole nother story, right? So is he a scammer? Nah. Scamming behavior? Probably. But shout out to Umar. I wish the brother well. I hope he doesn't think this was an attack. If he does, then whatever, nigga. I'll take the smoke. I'll take the smoke. I'm not afraid of anybody out here. I'm just talking and saying things from my perspective.